I have toured some incredible luxury homes over the years, the kind with breathtaking architecture, every imaginable upgrade, finishes that most people would dream about. And I've always appreciated them. And yet, without exception, they never really felt like my definition of luxury until I walked this property. I actually had a really hard time leaving. I just kept going back outside one more time to look at the barn, to look at the mountains just one more time, just to take in the view. And somewhere on the drive home, I think it finally hit me that this was not about the house or even the incredible barn, although it is incredible. It was just that it just hit me that someone actually did this, that they stood on the mountain all these years ago and imagined this entire life, and they refused to settle until they built it exactly the way they dreamed it. And then they got to actually live it. They weren't building a beautiful home. They were building a life that they wanted to wake up to every single day. And that's what stayed with me. I wasn't just touring an extraordinary horse property, although again, it is extraordinary. I was touring someone else's dream. And for a moment while I was there, I kept imagining what it would be like if it was mine. Luxury starts to look different once you've figured out what really matters to you. And the more I thought about this property, the more I realized that. Because if you can spend nearly $5 million, you have choices. Beautiful homes, prestigious neighborhoods, every luxury feature you could imagine. And yet I realized that's not actually the kind of luxury I dream about. Someone chose this 70 acres, mountains, this big 8 stall barn, an indoor arena, horses outside every window, quiet privacy, a life built around what they loved most. And that's the part I can't stop thinking about. No amount of money can move these mountains somewhere else. No amount of money can recreate this exact feeling somewhere else, because some things simply cannot be manufactured. This isn't just a beautiful place to live. It's a place built around a beautiful way to live. And I think that's what luxury becomes. Not owning more, having the freedom to build a life where even the ordinary moments feel extraordinary. If this is your definition of luxury, I don't think I need to convince you. You'll feel it too.
Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. They say in heaven, love comes first. We'll make heaven a place on.
It didn't take long to realize that this property was designed by someone who truly loved living with horses. Horse people notice these things. We don't see what everybody else sees. We don't walk into the kitchen first. We head to the barns first. And while we're walking, our minds immediately start solving the problems of where does the hay go? Can I see the horses from the house? How is this going to work in January? Will chores feel easier or harder? And the more I walked this property, the more I realized someone had already asked every one of these questions. It wasn't any one feature that impressed me, though. It was how thoughtfully everything worked together. The barn, the arena, the wash bay, the office that overlooked the pasture, the way the horses stayed connected to the house. Nothing feels like it was done to just impress someone. Every decision felt intentional. Every decision feels like it supports the life being lived right here. The little things, the thoughtful things, the details that most people would probably never notice, but the ones that make all the difference when you actually live this life. And I think that's why this property really stayed with me in part. I don't think it was designed to impress horse people. I think it was designed by one. I think I finally realized why this property really affected me so much. When I imagine my best life, I do not picture special occasions, the parties, or the big celebrations. I picture Tuesday. Tuesday morning coffee before I walk to the barn. Tuesday afternoon working in the office and watching the horses. Tuesday evening, riding after dinner, ending my day with a glass of wine. Tuesday night in the hot tub. Because I think that's the real test of a dream. Not how it feels on your best days, but how it feels on an ordinary one. That's what this property did. It made me realize that when a place is this extraordinary, ordinary starts to feel extraordinary too. The chores don't just feel like chores. Morning coffee becomes a moment. An ordinary ride becomes something you look forward to all day. Even the quiet moments feel special. And honestly, I think that's what luxury really is. Not creating extraordinary moments once in a while, creating a life where even an ordinary Tuesday feels extraordinary.
Oh, this has gotta be a good life. This has gotta be a good life. This could really be a good life, good life. I say, oh, this feeling that you can't find. The city is a fine night. This could really be a good life, a good life. Oh yeah, a good life, good life.
I have a feeling this property is not going to be everyone's definition of luxury. And honestly, I think that's exactly what makes it so special. Some people will look at 70 acres and see a ton of work at the 8-stall barn and think chores and responsibility. Some people look at horses and wonder why anyone would choose this life. But I don't think that's who this property is waiting for. I think it's waiting for someone who looks at these mountains and immediately starts imagining morning coffee on the patio. Someone who sees this amazing barn and starts thinking about hearing their horses eating breakfast before the sun comes up. Someone who walks into that arena and imagines riding after work instead of sitting in traffic. Someone who doesn't just see a beautiful property, they see their life. And if while you've been watching this, you found yourself imagining Tuesday, then maybe you already understand exactly why I couldn't stop thinking about this place. The thing I'll probably remember most about this property isn't just about how beautiful it is, but it's knowing that years ago, someone stood on this land and imagined a completely different future. They imagined the home, the barn, the arena, the horses, the views, not because they wanted an extraordinary property, but because they wanted an extraordinary life. They refused to settle for almost. They built it exactly the way they imagined it, and then they got to live it. There's something incredibly moving about standing inside this physical proof that someone followed their dream all the way through. And now it's someone else's turn, not just someone looking for a beautiful house, but someone who's been imagining this life. Someone who understands that luxury isn't always just about bigger. Sometimes it's quieter. Sometimes it's waking up with the mountains right outside the window, walking to the barn with your cup of coffee, riding after work, ending the day watching your horses graze as the sun disappears behind the mountains. It's a life where ordinary moments become the ones you're going to remember most. And if while you've been watching, you've caught yourself imagining your own Tuesday, then maybe you already understand exactly why I couldn't stop thinking about this place. Maybe that's what luxury really is. Not having more, but having the freedom to build a life around what matters most. Someone imagined this life. They built it. They lived it. And now it's someone else's turn. property speaks to you, I would love the opportunity to help you experience it in person. Whether it's this extraordinary property or another horse property that better fits your vision, my passion is helping people find a place where the lifestyle is every bit as important as the home. I'm Jasmine Kendig, and this is Littleton Equestrian Living. I believe luxury isn't just about where you live, it's about how you live. It's about creating a life where you don't have to choose between open space and convenience, horses and connection, beautiful homes, and authentic living. If that's your definition of luxury, I'd love you to follow along. And if you're looking for a property where your ordinary days can feel just a little bit more extraordinary, I would love to help you find it.